It is Thursday. Thank God. It's almost over. I was gonna not go live today, but then I was like, well, you know what? Let's not break the momentum. And, I could always have something to say, right? I paperclip myself to the seatbelt. I never really like showing my work shirt, and it's not cold enough to be able to wear like a sweatshirt over my shirt. So I just put a little paper clippy. Well, it's a huge paper clip, but you get what I mean. Good morning, Caroline and Nana. Good to see you. So we are covering a couple different cases right now, and on my ride here, I was watching Crime Weekly. Thank you, Helena. For those of you guys that know, I really followed Big Brother back in the day, but Derek Lasseter was a detective that was on Big Brother, and he's on Crime Weekly with Stephanie Harlow, and they did Jack and Lily yesterday. So I wanted to hear their input and what they had to say about Jack and Lily, and it was a good listen. I might post it after I'm done so you guys can hear it. It's Thank you, Caroline and Nana. Look at the cute seal. It's so cute. I love the little emojis. I get so distracted. I'm just very easily amused, but those are my favorite. The little clapping seal. And Elena always gets a present that grows legs and walks across the screen. But yeah, so Derek and Stephanie did their little review, and it seems that they seem to think the same type of thing that I think. The kids were subjected to possibly some neglect. And thank you, Lady for Justice. And thank you, Nikki. I got a floating heart and another floating heart. I love those. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. I was about to come in here and just freaking complain about how awful work is, but we're going to go a different route today. Thank you. Sometimes I need that, you know? So basically what Derek said is that, and Derek is a great detective. He's worked with Secret Service before. Thank you so much. You guys, what happened today? Everybody's so sweet and kind, and I'm getting all these gifts this morning, and I wasn't even gonna go live. What in the world? You guys are the best. Thank you so much. So basically, like I said, he believes that there was some type of neglect and possibly an accident occurred, and they are, Coffindoffer's hat. I love it. Oh, no Karen Reed case today. She was out with her lawyer last night having dinner. Oof. I just can't wait for Karen Reed to be over, that it's not a thing anymore. You guys are the best. Thank you. So, then there's the case of the poor little sisters, 3 sisters, age 5, 8, and 9, Evelyn, Peyton, and Olivia. And they've stopped sharing their names, so maybe that's not good that I said their names. I'm sorry, girls. I shouldn't have said their names. But they're monster of a parent, which it makes me mad to say that. Good morning, Dilly Pickles. But basically, their parent is charged with unaliving them, and he's out on the run. And from what I could see last night, just for a quick update, they have supposedly had sightings of the man, but those did not turn out to be accurate. That those were not sightings. He's not in Ohio, and I don't feel like they have a trace on him at all. It's like they don't know where he is. He's got extensive training being in the Army. Goodbye already. I'm nosy. I gotta see what it is. No, it's a fire truck. There's a fire station right down the street, like 2 blocks over. But the father, he's just basically on the run. He's a survivalist. He was in the Army. For whatever reason, he got discharged. I couldn't find much about that, but then he went into National Guard. So he went active duty to non-active duty. And I kind of want to see if I can find out some more information as to whether or not he's been deployed, or like what exactly the issue is, or what the disconnect was, because um, ever since he was active military and had to come back to civilization, that's where the mother, and some of the documents that I read, that's where they're stating the disconnect started, was when he was back into society. And for me, I think there's got to be something, whether or not he was in, military combat overseas. Something had to have brought that on. I believe he's either in the woods or somewhere else close by. He's a survivalist. He's probably living in a tree. No one would see him. But you've got to have food. That's the thing. I don't doubt that he's somewhere in the woods, but you've got to have food. So it's like, when and how is he getting food? And as a survivalist, clearly he knows what he can eat in the wilderness, or how to get, an animal. But even then, if they are in fact looking for him, you would see remnants of that, whether it's like animal bones, because, he's not going to eat bones. Or you'd see some type of remnants of a fire if you had to cook something or had to keep warm. But yeah, for the most part, I do believe he's most likely in the woods. The area that he's in, or he was last seen in, is like, Google Icicle Gorge. It is like picture perfect-esque. Like there's like it looked like little waterfalls, and like the terrain is just breathtaking, gorgeous. But I'm telling you, it's like he could be anywhere. It can be hard to transition from military life to civilian, especially if he's been to war. Right, we know that. And so, like, what happened with that to where he wasn't getting proper care? I know I saw a document that stated that his wife in the custody plan had requested that he take some anger management classes and that he have an evaluation done. And then it specifically said in said article that he did not get his medications or things that he should, as far as anger management and counseling and whatnot. And the mother says she doesn't believe that he's on medication at the moment and that he needs to be. They mentioned borderline personality disorder. In a different article, I saw bipolar disorder, which is different than borderline personality disorder. So it's not like, we're not certain really what he has. I don't know what the condition of his mental state was and why it was the military's non-responsiveness to his being a vet status, but it's just like, I feel like they failed him. And I feel disgusting that I feel bad for the man, because he served for the country and then didn't have proper resource. Clearly there's a disconnect there. There's something wrong. They got divorced, and they say a couple of years they've been divorced, or separated and then divorced. So it's like, how long have they actually been divorced? Because in 2001, I believe, is where he went from civilian or military to civilian. And so that's 4 years now. The youngest daughter's 5. So is that also when they split up? I would have to guess that would be around when they split up also. And from everything that I'm reading, it's like he went on just a complete decline from 2001 till now, what we see. But the mother even then didn't believe that he would harm the children. So when she called in to let the authorities know, rumor is he was denied those benefits. See, that makes sense. Just like they were denied an Amber Alert, it's like the system is broken completely, and somebody needs to fix it. Like, how do we get, and this is what I was ranting about the other day, that I started discussing this yesterday. How do we fix it? Like, I could sit here and bitch and moan and cry and whine and point the finger at who did it and why they did it and what the problem is, but it's like, that's not doing us any justice. That's not getting us anywhere. how do we fix it? Who do we go to fix it? And Brandy was in here yesterday saying that we needed to write our officials. I saw a comment under the video saying that we needed to make sure we elected the proper judges. But I mean, even with that, we're never guaranteed to get the proper outcomes. Like, we don't know that, even the person we elect as a judge could determine, the same things and the outcomes of what the outcomes were. I just, I heard news say he had a history of some mental issues. Yeah, he definitely did. There was incidences described in their custody paperwork where it basically stated that he would actually, you know what? There was one incident. I'm going to end it with that. There was one incident where the mother described how he was having hardships. He had gotten in 2 vehicle accidents in May, like last month, and he had received a ticket or something from that that he was having a hard time paying off. He was back due on child support, so they were garnishing his wages. He had recently had his RV repossessed, so he was basically living out of the truck slash he was living in an armory, it said in the article. And I don't know, for me, an armory is like where you keep the weaponry. Is that right? I mean, I'm like, what is even that? But apparently at one point, one of the girls FaceTimed her mother and was hysterical. And I guess he was outside playing with the dogs while one of the girls got hurt. And so the oldest called the mom on FaceTime crying that they couldn't find him. And then eventually they found him, but it found out then that he was having them stay with him in the armory. So they had an adjusted parental plan to where now he was able to get them every other weekend on a Friday in like 3 hours or something. So I'm sure he was upset about that. All of the information that I found so far, in conclusion, leads me to believe that low-key he was pissed off that this woman was still in the home, still with the kids 24/7, still had all of her everything, and he had to pay for everything, and he couldn't keep up with paying for everything, and therefore he got the revenge he wanted against her. I feel like that's what happened with Chad Dorman. It's the only thing that makes sense. And people are saying like, oh, he's a coward, he's not going to be alive still, he already probably took himself out. I don't agree. I think these type of monsters think they can get away with stuff like this, and then they go on the run, and it's like he thinks he's going to outsmart everybody. And so far he seems like he has been, because we don't know where he's at. We don't have any update. I mean, we have updates stating that somebody believes they saw him in Ohio, but that ended up not being him. So ultimately, what do we have? Nothing. And with our technology and drones and heat signatures in the woods, like, we couldn't figure out anywhere he went. Like, we don't have a direction. We don't have any idea where he's at. And that's unnerving, because who knows? He's trained to be able to survive out there in the wilderness. So for all we know, he's living his best life as freaking the Jungle Man. Like, it's his new life. But I cannot imagine having your beautiful children with you one day, being forced to hand them over to somebody that you see red flags everywhere. Even though there's red flags, she clear as day stated, like, she didn't believe that he would harm the kids. He loves the kids. One thing that stood out, and I said this incorrectly in one of my comments, but he was talking about he couldn't afford the dog, that he was going to get rid of the dog. And in the article with the parents, the custody agreement, somewhere in the article I read, it stated that his world was the girls and his dogs. And for him to be talking about getting rid of the dog, that is a huge red flag. Huge. So I just don't know. I just can't imagine. But the mom still was like, I don't believe he would hurt the girls. Well, if you're seeing a progressive decline and every day that goes by, he's getting more and more erratic, or, you know, his cognitive dissonance, or not, his everything he was doing seemed to have declined as far as, all of his issues and his financial burdens, his troubles. He couldn't. One time it said that he hitchhiked over to her house to try and get the girls. Like, he hitchhiked there. What was he going to have the girls sit with a hitchhiker's vehicle and have them take them somewhere else? Like, that doesn't sound like somebody that's in their right mind. But good morning, Ruby Joy. You've been here for 13 months. Thank you for being here. On that note, I gotta run. We are short-staffed. We actually had a man get fired the other day. I'm like, oh my God, I have not seen a grown man with a career get fired like that. It was kind of unnerving, but now it's like we're just completely short-staffed. And we'd been short-staffed to start with, so it doesn't really help. But yeah. Look for buzzards. Right. Because you think he unalived himself. I don't think he took himself out. If he took himself out, I think he would have done it right then and there. We would have found him. But that's just my opinion. So, you guys are the best. On that note, I still have this microwave back here. Dolly needs to get out of the freaking car. It's kind of heavy. We both probably can take it out, but I get home, he gets home. Ava's got boxing now. So, we got a little bit more on our plate, but for the most part, there's a microwave behind me. You guys are the best. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bicycle.